don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
We're on.
La, 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 la. Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to the Safe Word podcast. My guest on the show is Feng Chao, who is a comedian from
Beijing, China.
And I've known you or been aware of you for probably a few, maybe 3-4 years now. I don't know how long you've been working.
I've been there for 3 years. 3 years, I think.
Uh-huh.
I've been there for 3. Yeah. Yeah, because the other day we were just talking about when I first started, and Randolph was the guy. He's like, hey, this is my buddy Jason. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
And he introduced us, and I said hi, and we just kind of didn't really talk for a while.
I think.
I mean, just there's so many people there, and
Well, not only that, I think you, as myself, will recognize going, oh, this guy is going to be around. Now's not the time. He's at work. I'm working.
Sure.
We're going to, because of the,
Sure.
the journey, we're going to be on the same path. And sure enough, we've
We're
crossed
all-
paths
Yeah.
sooner. So because there's probably you've got it down to a science because you've seen, the Comedy Store can be a little Groundhog Day. So you can see that certain personalities and people tend to gravitate towards it.
Right.
So you can pretty much talk to somebody or even look at them and go, oh, they're not going to be here in a week.
Right.
You're clearly you've come here with the wrong intentions.
Sure.
There's a whole different politic. It's another planet. It's a planet.
Right. It is a
What
planet.
we're talking about is the Comedy Store, arguably the hottest comedy club in the world right now in comparison to what it was 10 years ago. You showed up literally
The best time.
right at the best time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
all,
best.
all your crew of guys that you're working with, you reminisce about these days in 2000s.
I know.
Late 2000,
2000. I got hired 15. Around that time is getting busy. Like all I can remember is everything's going up.
You weren't doing comedy in Beijing though. Mm-mm. But there's been comedy in Beijing for a long time in English.
In Chinese, we do have this thing. I think it's called crosstalk. 2 people on stage speak Mandarin.
Double act.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like that's one of the. It's
Abbott and Costello type.
the main thing is like if you and I, we're all Chinese, you and me are Chinese. We go on stage, right? You shit on me, and I kind of have like a really good attitude towards like, well, sure.
Passive,
Like-
funny antidotes.
Right. Like if only one guy, if I set you up to punch me, and then the audience all laugh.
Yes.
But it's like a very, on a surface level, it's like a TV ready. You know what I mean? It's just like joke about things on the surface. Like,
Very accessible.
right.
It's pop culture.
Right. Nothing
that
really
current-
cuts really deep.
No. It's not there to make people upset
Right,
or
right,
challenge
upset,
them.
right.
It's a kind of fuck. I'd like to do a little shout out to LA Speedweed for
Right. Those a little, yeah. Not that it's not good, but it's yeah. For the one person on stage thing, there not much. Just one Chinese guy, like a stand-up thing. No, I don't think so. But we do have like sketch comedy.
Well, but there's been like English-speaking comedians have been performing in that part of the world for some time. Like they do.
There was a Canadian guy. I don't remember his English name, but I remember his Chinese name. It's Da Shan, means big mountain. When I was in grade school, he was always the star. He was the token white guy.
Uh-huh.
This token white guy can speak fluent Mandarin. He's on TV. He's in everything. He made a lot of money in China.
Blonde, blue-eyed, like light skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall. Yeah,
He's a unicorn with a language connection.
right.
So that happens in some countries. You'll get people that are have a grasp, a very in-depth grasp of the language and the culture, but their aesthetics are completely opposite of what the culture is. So they have all this kind of inside information.
But the thing is, like, I think that guy's story is he went to China to visit after college, just to see what's China like. I think he got like a teaching English job, but end up loving the culture, loving the people, loving the food and everything. Just stayed forever. The guy's still in Beijing right now.
Yeah, but that's they're carving out these little careers, which are very ego. Like you can be. Who wants to be the biggest white guy in Beijing?
That guy.
Da
Shan, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But to me, now, it's so funny that we talk about this. Now I feel like I can be that token Chinese guy. Not bad. To be that token Chinese guy, to be here in the States. Oh, this guy have accent. Feels okay if he says the word faggot. We all know it's not okay, but if this guy says it,
yeah,
he's in this gray area. Nobody like
the accent gives them he doesn't know better element to it.
Right. So people think, oh, it's okay.
He don't know, but you know exactly what you're doing.
They don't know that I know. I feel like that's very fun. I feel like that's one of the very, very fun element to be on stage, to say whatever you wanted to say. That's pretty funny.
Well, it's also a great way to do the misdirection stuff.
Sure.
Because they're conditioning on what they're seeing and how you're supposed to act.
Right. And then
you can take a hard left and
then it
really fuck them.
Right. It will take the English speakers another extra second to think, oh, that's misdirection. He just said it with an accent. Now I get it.
It's charming. Oh,
right.
That baby's what?
Right.
Yeah,
it is charming in the way, right? Because I do figure out that's one of the things that early on, when I've never been to the States yet, I met a lot of people from all over the world, like Americans, Canadians,
travelers.
Australians, travelers. When they travel to Beijing, some of them, they will learn to speak Chinese, Mandarin, right? When I tend to understand if you are trying to speak my language, Mandarin to me, I would pay extra attention to you because I understand Mandarin is not your first language. Same.
Qixin. It means stupid in Mandarin. Qixin. Qixin. I don't know. I used to work with this lady.
I forgot my Mandarin for a second. I had to think about it in my
What's
head.
stupid? How do you say stupid?
笨蛋 or 蠢.
Okay. Maybe I am just stupid.
Yeah. He taught you something different. You're like, yeah, now you're saying it.
No, I used to freak out in the restaurant that I worked in. And she yelled at me all the time for being stupid. She's seen. She says all the time, "You're stupid. You're stupid." She was a weird lady. Like, she was this old Asian lady, and she had fucking long. Her makeup was done. Like, she worked in a kitchen, but she was dressed like
to the tent.
She dressed like a 20-year-old high school girl.
Yeah.
But she was in her 50s.
Yeah.
But she put it all together. But
she thinks that she's forever young in her kitchen.
She loved her vanity. Yeah,
to call this white guy stupid.
Yeah.
I have to put on all this makeup and shit.
I poisoned her. She died.
Yeah, that's a classic Jason Rouse story ending.
Yeah,
I poisoned her. And
poisoned her. You know what I mean? You got to thin out the herd.
Right.
So you're in. You moved to LA, but you weren't doing comedy back home.
I was working in travel industry, like just organizing
travel
trips.
and tourism.
Yeah, getting Chinese people outside of China.
What Was this a government-related program, or was this an independent business?
Independent,
Travel tourism?
travel companies.
Cool. And you were an ambassador to this company.
I was
Public relations?
no, I was just one of the probably like sell the tour.
Okay. And you use like packages?
We travel to different parts of China because Beijing is the capital. Beijing has more flights. And my company, my boss had a lot of good relationships with the airplane
Companies.
Yeah. They're top dog. And then, you get like a discount ticket. And
Did
then
you get to recoup some of the discount airfares and things like that? Or because, it's expensive. A flight.
We could, because we have like a department handling airplane ticket for sure. And back then, my girlfriend is American, and whenever she comes home, I'll make a phone call. Not free tickets, but it's like
friends and family.
Friends and family treatment. Yeah.
Those are great. I love a good cheap flight. It's cheaper to fly from Toronto to London than it is to fly from Toronto to Vancouver.
Yeah, that's just I will never understand why
they don't want us leaving. Or maybe they do.
I do think the only thing to that matter is they can make more money is if you fly longer, you gotta have one stop and then pick up passengers to go over there for those empty flight. For that empty flight might cost them more than if they combine people. That's the only thing that I can figure out. But
it's very mismanaged. You just look
because
at a map,
right? You're like, why is that cheaper than right?
I think maybe
it's like the thing
over
I
the
told
ocean is cheaper for gas.
Sure.
Maybe maybe flying over bodies of water for long periods of time reduce, because there's not a lot of insurance claims if you crash in the water, right?
Yeah, you can't even find them.
Yeah. So you crash on Canadian soil, people will cry for a month.
Sure.
A plane crashes. If a mosquito gets killed in Canada, there's a funeral. It's it's the opposite of China.
Sure.
Canada, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And and there's no slave labor.
Yeah. No Mexicans.
There's no Mexicans. And what do you think of that? Have you ever seen a sweatshop?
But I know they exist, but they're in southern part of China, close to Hong Kong. That's where
some basement.
With my own, I've never in my life see a sweatshop in person.
Yeah.
But they exist for sure.
Of course.
It's just in southern part of China, Guangzhou, Fujian, Shenzhen, there's 3 little areas. They used to have like miles of acres, like just huge
warehouses with just people. I've seen photos. I don't know how dated they were, but it's a warehouse full of sewing machines and
because
turnover.
They have that because that part of it's out of the city in the suburbs. That's creating job. Even it's cheap labor sweatshop, but it's good for the people.
The market.
Yes.
Yeah. At the level,
but if someone's making money off of sweatshop,
there's a eye on the pyramid.
Right.
There's definitely, and unfortunately, the trickle down is very minimal, but it's enough to keep people going.
Right.
And that's all they want.
That's all. That really is all they want.
Work.
Yep.
So as long as they give you enough to get you to sit up and show your family.
Better than your shittiest life before. 2 months ago. Now you're like just enough. You can eat food. You have roof over your top, your head.
I think that should be a summer job for kids. Is you do a month at a Chinese sweatshop.
Sure.
And then you come back in society and we'll see what you're complaining about.
Right.
I think that with the separation of people via the social media, the physical aspect of it, no one's really present in front of one another as they're communicating. And I've lost my train of thought.
We're talking about sweatshops.
Sweatshops.
Yeah.
Sweatshops. Yeah, so to be, it's a weird thing to be as many people in a room that are completely focused on the same thing that has nothing to do with them communicating or it's a assembly line situation with the
Sure.
machine is the human being. You know, the mechanics of it is just horror.
But I just
purgatory.
I feel like with China and India growing in this past 10 years or past 15 to 20 years, that's the perfect, like, where do you set up sweatshops? In the world that you look around, like of course it's going to be the fastest growing country.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I look at it. You can't.
Yeah, because before they realize what purgatory they've gotten themselves into, they're dying. Before
Yeah.
they realize it's a Matrix type thing, isn't it? Isn't it? When you say they're in this, they barely live in this world.
Right. But
their only contribution is their blood, sweat, and tears.
right now, right. If you don't do that, and then your life is shittier than that. Of
Yeah.
course, for the people on that level, they're like, "Oh, please get me there."
Yeah, I think that happens.
It's not that they don't want. It's not that they were forced to go in there.
No, there's just like there's one opportunity.
Right.
So we either
Right.
eat
But-
off the ground.
Right. For
in
them
the
to see, oh,
streets.
that's my golden ticket. Let me get on that train.
Yeah. Because the train's not really going up or down. It's just kind of moving across.
right,
and then you die.
right.
And then someone else gets on the
Right.
train.
Right.
Yeah,
right. But for people, I do think for the listeners out there, we're not shitting on sweatshop workers, but it's like for them,
It's supply and demand. Like
Yes.
it's in place. Somebody's buying
Right.
that shit.
Right.
It's just not
right.
piling up.
Right. So they want to be like, oh, because on that level of poorness,
And
like
they weren't good looking enough to be prostitutes. Because let's just say if you had to do a 60-hour week making track pants or take your pussy out for a run on the street every other day. And
that's the
have a
first
nice
option.
night,
Yeah, of course.
would you go hooker before sweatshop?
I have no shame. I will sell my pussy
Look, well, both of us
like
are.
this in a second.
If I had
Yeah.
a pussy, it'd be
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
wheelbarrow, and there would be sailor spit all over
Yeah.
it.
I will use all the what's the word hooker mileage on my pussy? What is the word hooker mileage? Prostitute mileage. I'll use.
Like
I'll buy extended warranty on that.
Apple Care on your pussy.
Apple Care.
Yeah, I think I think before people are born, they have their first option is to have a vagina. Because I think we're all born female and then we
Sure.
turn into. So I think maybe, the physicality of that, but then maybe, quote, so God comes in and goes, here's a vagina, what are you going to do with it? And then it's all described. They find out whether or not.
I'm gonna sell my vagina.
Like the guy, immediately he goes, nah, you can't have that. We'll give that to somebody who knows how to handle a vagina.
Yeah.
Because it's a deadly weapon, right?
It really is.
How many times have you seen a pussy that's made you cry?
Zero.
Not from the smell, but from the smile.
I don't think I've.
You've never cried in front of a vagina?
Now you know me a little bit more. You're like, you've never cried in front of a vagina. No, I don't think so.
No, because just before the piss comes out, there's that
Sure.
hum in the air.
Really? No. What are you trying to do to me,
No,
Jason?
I mean metaphorically. Have you ever a woman who's never made you cry?
Woman, yeah, of course. Of course.
Well, who has a vagina? A woman.
Yeah.
Well, times are different now.
Sure.
If you-
Time is really
If you
different.
could keep your cock and get a vagina, where would you put your vagina?
Are you kidding me? In my throat. Of
In your
course.
throat. You'd have it like a scarf.
Of course.
Oh, look at that poor man. He said, "Oh no, that's a vagina." Would you leave it open,
Right,
shaven, unshaven?
Right. I will keep it shaved.
It would be crazy though if you were like clean shaven, all American boy with a big cunt, hairiest cunt, like with the meat inside out.
Right.
And
Everybody will cry.
Yeah, you hug your aunt, and it's just like,
Yeah.
put a scarf on. We're trying to eat over here. Or behind the knee. And then when I roll up my pant legs on one side, people would think, is he a rapper? No, he's got a cunt on the back of his knee, and he's getting ready to have the piss of his life.
Yeah. He's got to be special.
Well, you can have the colostomy bag hole, Mr. Shit Whiskers.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I've heard stories. I think I saw pornography where somebody fucked the shit bag hole. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. People just like to stick their dick into things. So
Isn't
whatever.
it weird? It's
Yeah,
something
that's-
like it's like a very strange connection, or I don't
That's
know.
like a next level mental health issues, I think. But it makes me laugh.
But you got to think too that there's somebody that complements that. Those two ships don't meet often, but
Sure.
it's the
Sure.
chocolate.
That's
and your
the
peanut
pioneer
butter.
to put those two together.
Yeah. Because cavemen, like guys put their dick in garbage.
Yeah.
Fruit.
Yeah.
Thinking
Apple pie. Apple pie is the top shelf.
Apple pie would be up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Apple pie will be up there, and then you see like
Bullet hole.
Yeah.
A mouth that's cold.
Yeah. Jesus.
With Jesus, we
Yeah.
can do it the weird way, how you want with Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus died,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
He did.
Isn't that weird?
He couldn't stop everything.
No, Hollywood Jesus.
Oh,
Kevin.
that's- Yeah. How people die.
That's the
I know
Japanese
it sounds
response.
really. I know it sounds.
We got a lot of high turnover in Japan. How many coffins do you think how many bodies do you think hit the ground in China every day? Just deaths a day.
3,000 at least, above 3,000
Yeah,
for
right?
sure.
That's insane. That's a lot of corpse. Like, where do these? Is there cremation kind of a standard thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, you get burned, right?
you got burned. Well, there is
If you
small
got
part of
money-
China.
If you got money, you get like a small tomb or something.
Yeah, I mean, a small part of China, like small town, like village people, they still like to keep their body, put in the coffin, and bury them. But most of Chinese people like burn their ashes now.
I think that's the best way to go. Unless you've got the dough to do some sort of frozen.
Why do you have to take up space when you're dead? You're just a selfish cunt.
Well, yeah, exactly. And people
I mean, if
have
you
an
cremate-
idea that there's like, that's where it's like a spoon or a piece of china on the shelf. And that don't touch those nice cups.
Sure.
They're over there. You can look at them, but don't touch them.
Right.
You know, and I think graveyards should have glass tops. If I'm, how many of those grave, cemetery people that actually just throw the bodies away or, don't even bury them? There are people going to
There's got to be some sick fucks out there. Yeah.
I bet you if they took x-rays of the cemeteries and stuff, I think people would shock to what was on record and what wasn't on record.
Nothing is on record in China.
Oh, no. But there's certain cultures and things that glorify their dead. And, look at Egyptians with the mummification and all that. They pull organs out through small holes in your body, put a metal hook up your nose and pull out your brain by piece. Where's the pitch meeting for that?
Where's the pitch?
You know what I mean? Like,
Where's the pitch?
We can't have the idea of damaging because when they show up in the other afterlife that they have to look good and there's certain things at their place, but somebody has to bring that idea up
on the table.
Yeah, and it's like there's probably one guy that's listening and goes, I can't believe they're buying this shit.
Sure.
Every week I come in with these fucked up ideas. I don't know if it's the way I'm selling it or what. That's all these people that pitch these, superstitions in things to scare people into doing other things were always must have been a couple guys that put their hands up and go, I think this is bullshit. Kill them. You know, anybody that would challenge these ideas. So I think out of just pure fear in their own lives.
But I do feel like it's got to be, no matter what group of people, like what nationality are they, what skin color they have, it's got to be like the top tier that have money and power, they can put into those really fucked up thoughts into reaction.
Yes, because the people at the bottom are easily influenced, uneducated. You know, it's that sweatshop thing. You're just trying to get by, and whatever the people that could end them is saying and doing, they just go along with it. It's mass hypnosis.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's like, I know in part of China, like really, it's a really status thing for people to eat dead baby
organs,
unborn, like just the fetuses. Yes,
it's become popular to eat fetuses.
People pay
very
a lot of money
to eat fetuses. Now I know that they do stem cell researches and they take parts from the umbilical cords and things like that. But is there any health benefits from eating an abortion?
I don't know. But I know for sure people eat. Chinese people pay a lot of money to eat that. Like, I'm Chinese.
Yeah, it's like
it makes me question. It made me question my Chinese-ness.
So when you said earlier you want to get back to Chinese, you want to eat dead babies?
Maybe I'll try. I'll see how Chinese I really am.
You'll be the only
if I don't
at the comedy store that's eating the dead. You can go, oh yeah, that's crazy. But anybody eat somebody else's kid? No. Feng Chao in the house. What would you get to? How do you go? Are they all in a bucket or is it like a lobster tank?
Probably like
around?
I would think for the
one
rich
in the
people
back with the lazy eye,
lobster tank, not buckets. If they are rich, they can pick lobster tank.
Yeah, there's the cord. Can I get the one with the blue cord hanging off of it?
One of the baby number 2.
Baby number 2, diaper or no diaper, sir?
It doesn't matter. We're going to cook the shit out of this baby.
I'm going to eat it on the way home. I love these things fresh.
We're going to cook the baby. Oh
Can I get the one with the leg kick floating in the back?
Jesus. Wow. I just went back to reality for a second and talk about eating.
So anti-human.
Right.
But
it happens.
Somebody's going to eat it.
Yeah.
The earth will consume it.
Right.
Over time.
Yeah, that somebody is rich as fuck to pay a lot of money.
That's gangster.
That is gangster.
When you're eating babies.
Yeah. You're ruthless. You like part of you stopped giving a fuck a long time ago. That's
a line, man. That's a big line. It's cannibalism for starters.
Cannibalism for starters. You got to get through this baby phase, and then when they,
What's the conversation from, okay, let's just go on this journey here. From there's an opportunity for me to eat a fetus.
Sure.
Now, you're that person that's come up with that. I could eat that, and I'm interested in eating that.
Sure.
Where do you
go first?
You can't go in your family. You got to go with outsiders.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a traditional family that were baby eaters, and they're like,
Sure.
You know those Hollywood movies where you go, your mother was a witch and you were a witch.
Sure.
That's why you have these special skills.
Sure.
Now your grandmother used to eat it right out of her own pussy.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Your son, you're an abortion survivor. We ate. You're a triplet. We ate both of your sisters. And would it be all female fetuses they'd eat? Who eats a boy? You don't want to roll that over and see a cock while you're trying to eat the face. That's kind of weird. And
not only then you question yourself, like, am I gay now? I
ate a boy.
Right.
I ate a boy one. Well, I guess maybe you can get them early enough that you can't really see the genitalia or anything. So the fingers are on. You get like
there's no bone. There's just meat. There's just like a stew. You see
jellyfish.
Yeah, you see chunks of meat. You're like
hot and sour soup with a side of baby face.
Right.
How old of a baby? I'd probably go like a month and eat 2. A month baby, like a feed.
Sure.
What's that? About as big as a beer coaster?
Probably. Yeah,
Okay,
right.
I'll eat two. I'll be I'll be tender cabbage rolls.
Yeah.
And they're just with really tender meat inside.
Right.
I'll wrap a little cabbage.
It's like I smoke weed, I eat some mushroom, but 2 baby feet a month.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
No big deal. Very nonchalant about it.
Yeah. Are those pork rinds you're eating? No, baby feet.
Right.
How old would you name it? Oh, maybe they bring in the birth certificate and tell you who the parents are, where it was like a bottle of wine. Right?
Sure. Like a bottle of wine. That's the detailed prescriptions of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they come in and they give you where was the baby bred and what were the parents like, and then you're like, I had some of that last week.
Yeah.
Instead
now those savage people choose another province. Get me how those are like.
I had some of that other baby. It tasted, but maybe it becomes like the weed shops where instead of the jars, they have fetuses in the jars. They look like lava lamps.
Sure.
And you can go in and go,
take your pick.
I'm going to have a little blue dream. The baby with the umbilical cord around his neck. Because that happens sometimes. Babies are born
wrapped around. Yeah, because the baby wouldn't be able to
breathe through the.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that's some sort of attempted suicide? They've clearly spent 9 months inside.
They don't want to get out. The babies are like, I don't want to.
They're like, I've been listening to these people talk. And
for 9 months.
Yeah, this white trash. I'm 8 months in a baby, and she's just getting trucker cum dumped into the womb.
Yeah.
So the kid comes out with just tons of loads all over his face.
Right.
And he's like, that's it, I'm out.
Yeah.
And starts
choking himself with a umbilical cord.
With an umbilical cord.
Yeah.
Do you have children?
I have one.
You have a child?
I have one child.
How old is your child?
He just turned 9.
That's cool.
That's something. It's pretty cool. It's probably one of the it's very cool. With my kid boys, with him I really learned how to be unselfish, to just like how to, because you have a small version of you gotta be selfless. You can't. Well, you can still be selfish, then just. But I feel like the meaning of having a child, it just means you cannot be a child anymore when you have a child. You gotta grow out of that in your head that you gotta
keep this person alive.
Right.
I know.
Or I can brainwash his mom to keep my kid alive, and I can just
fuck around with your friends at the comedy store.
See, I figured that out. I planned that out a little bit better.
Did say, I have no children.
No. Now that you know of.
Everyone says that, but I know I don't have any kids.
Okay, I believe you.
As I ate them.
Yeah, for sure.
We went on a road trip to Japan, and I'm like, watch out for that hammer, and then I just started eating them.
I don't, yeah. Yeah, I have one. 9-year-old, just turned 9 last November.
Being in a comedy environment all the time is not necessarily the best life skills to raise kids. So you hanging out with where people have no boundaries, and you come back into a world where you've got
to watch your mouth.
Yeah,
when you say anything. Yeah.
And listen, everything that goes in is being registered and dealt with.
Right, but the funny part is, I'm that guy hanging around with all the comics, coming back to real life, talk to my kid. I go in with a mentality not to change back. But before I say something, I'm like, I can't say the word fag in front of his face. If I say it,
you take that
his mom's going to take everything away from me.
That's the only reason?
Right. Because, right? But for a comedian, if I lost the custody of my kid over a joke, it really makes me pretty good a comedian. I don't know.
You're a hero amongst us.
Right.
General population, you're a bad parent.
You're a monster.
Did you hear that? He lost his kid.
over
He's
a
been
joke.
dropping N-bombs in the gym class.
Yeah, and all the normal parents are like, that guy should not have kid. That guy is a fucking piece of shit.
Well-
and then in this community, people are like, all right.
Because they know that that's not, they really, the square people are overly sensitive about things that are not that important.
Yeah, but to me, it's like if that's really is what happened to me, I'm gonna be like, I can take it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just in any way. It's just so PC right now. It's like it's not. It's not right.
What do you think? Now, obviously, this is kind of some defining moments in history as far as, this quote politically correctness, this
Sure.
PC thing. It's showing up. South Park has done a great job with the idea of that being a character. And what do you think is going to happen?
I think.
What do you think is going to break the camel's back? Because it's going to have to be a global catastrophe to reset people's priorities, because it's become like this. People are going out of their way to kind of a witch hunt.
But I don't. This is what I think. Compare the thing that I know about China and America, right? We all live here in LA.
Which is a significant difference. I'm sure you know that.
Right.
And I'm speaking quite ignorantly by looking in the fishbowl of Japanese culture and what have you. But
Sure, because Japan and China are neighbors. We do have similar culture and also like little differences.
yeah, to define each other. I think people are like, this is you do your thing. We're going to do our thing. But it has some, there's some crossover to it.
Sure.
As a white guy from Canada, for the longest time, it was general.
Yeah, just that goofy humor. It's just that
You're going to shit when you go to Vancouver.
yeah.
I lived there for 3 years. I saw 2 black people. Now
probably 4. I don't know.
and now, yeah.
Now it's like
it's Asian.
diet black.
It's like more than a half. I think.
I heard there are a lot of Chinese people.
Yeah,
in
it's so
Vancouver.
weird though, because people show up in Canada, and they're expecting stereotypical, Mounties hockey, the
Sure.
beer, that
Sure.
kind of stuff,
Sure.
and Vancouver's completely different.
A different town now. Like the Chinese people would take.
But there was
over.
no culture there anyway. It was like white people and indigenous, native. And you say Native American. I don't think.
Sure.
I don't know necessarily what the politically correct.
Sure.
The people that had all this shit before we showed up, the originals.
Sure.
So there was
The originals. I feel like that's a safe word.
Yeah,
the originals.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Yeah, on every level across the board.
So you got native culture and Asian culture and
Yeah, because
White
we're talking
people,
about the PC thing. It's like if you think about PC here is a problem. I wish everybody would understand Chinese to live in China for a week. The PC culture, like there, it's like
if they lived in China for a week.
yeah. I mean, if you think people here,
One abortion buffet.
yeah,
They
You're
wouldn't
al-
be complaining about saying cunt on stage.
right.
You don't come back from abortion buffet. Yeah, can you imagine being force-fed?
Abortion babies, buffet.
Abortion buffet.
Yeah.
It's like, do we use chopsticks or forks here? I don't know what the other kid is.
Yeah. We eat those dead babies with our hands like the real barbarians.
The guy gets kicked out of the restaurant for using a fork at an abortion buffet.
Right. You don't belong to this club.
John,
Yeah.
give me back your badge.
Yeah. Next time, don't bring your own fucking fork to the buffet.
Next time. And it's the sign over the door on the exit door. Next time, don't
Thanks to
bring
John. Keep your own forks at your house.
Keep your shit at home. People are trying to eat babies around here.
You savage. Bring out like a fucking fork.
Ooh, they're booing him, throwing baby parts at him as he said it. Oh, I love the gallows humor.
Yeah. You don't belong to this club. This is a very specific private one.
Yeah, and what did we tell you about wearing open-toed shoes in this restaurant? My dog's over here having a shit.
That is pretty funny. But yeah, we're talking the PC. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's I don't, to me personally, I really don't care. I'm just going to say whatever I wanted to say. I feel like that's one of the thing. I feel like that's one of the thing from this art to give you.
Yes, it's one of the gifts. Is no boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaryless. Anything is possible.
People say the word cunt, faggot every day. People get offended on the street.
You should hear what we say around here. It's a little more spicier.
Sure. Sure. Now, I said the word cunt on stage. Some girl got offended. Like, well, then maybe you should next time go see a movie.
Yeah. I like that.
It's a live performance.
That was you gave her a kind of you were polite to say that. Well, next time go see a movie. I'm giving you an opportunity here to diplomatically leave.
Right.
And reassess your plans when you're going out at night.
Tip your waitress well before you get out with a bad attitude. Don't let the word affect you. You're like, oh,
poison it.
Yeah, it sucks. And then the server got stiffed. You know? I go see a movie.
Because you don't know how to have a good time.
Right, because they want to have a good time. We want to have a good time performing.
Yeah.
And you get offended by this little word.
Yeah.
Like, well, then what do you expect of live performance?
Yeah, you can. But those people, that's the thing, though. The people that, especially the word kind, and there's people in Europe that are just shaking their head going, what's the problem?
Sure.
But it's such it's a showstopper. I don't like it, man. Where's the manager? He called me a cunt.
Well, maybe if you don't act like a cunt, he wouldn't call you a cunt.
Thank you. If you wouldn't act like a cunt, you wouldn't. And then if you're upset about anything that, I don't know, maybe I'm just callous to it, but I really don't care enough to get aggro over something that I've heard.
Yeah.
You know, it's a weird thing.
Like you thought all of a sudden you heard the word cunt. You thought your ears were raped.
Yeah, it's a weird. And physically, you know,
right.
Oh my God.
Right.
You're never, I always think of these people in a war situation. And they're
the first one to die.
They're the first one to die.
They're the first one to
by
be
their
the
own
traitor
people,
or the first one to die.
Yeah. Weak character.
Yeah.
Weak character. No.
They will sell you to the river in a second.
Yeah.
Or they will
He's
die.
over there. Please don't kill me.
And then they will find me, kill me, and kill you.
Yes. Right? And they never see that.
What made you think they were trying to raid this village? You're the informant. You get to live. No. They want to kill everybody. They want get
your good deed. You're still the enemy.
Right.
Don't be the enemy.
You're not on our side.
Yeah.
You're not on the other side.
There's 90% of the people in this comedy club are on. We have a team effort here. We are here to have a good time.
Sure.
You are not on the team.
Right.
So you need to fuck off.
Right.
You know, it's like having a drunk parrot. A drunk parrot sounds better though. Think a parent at the side of a Little League game, and he's yelling at the kids, and now all the kids are crying, and they're not playing right, and the game falls apart. He pulls out his dick, and the police come, and I don't know what kind of games you went to as a kid. I don't watch sports.
You don't
ever.
I watch sports. I like to watch sports.
I like playing sports.
Play is always fun. What sports do you play?
None. But I enjoyed, there was a moment in my youth that I was considering a career in baseball.
Okay. Baseball, I feel like that's one of the sports that's fun to play than watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
it's like snooker or pool or something like that.
I feel like if you watch baseball, it's more enjoyable to be in the stadium rather than sit on your couch to
Well,
watch.
the probably pinnacle of that would be soccer.
Sure.
Football.
Yeah.
You know, you see those stadiums. I don't know. Is there 1 million people watching a football game during the World Cup? Or
People are yelling. People are talking
and they
shit.
got to wave, and there's fucking murders, and it's an event.
It's for sure. It's an event. That's very fun.
That's the patio of the Comedy Store.
Yeah. There's a world.
It's a World Cup
every
game
night.
Every night.
Every night.
The police crack.
Yeah.
Go that lady. Smoking crack.
Yeah.
On
That
the
was fun.
sidewalk.
That was very
Not
fun.
under a blanket, not down the street. Literally from where they check IDs at the
It
front
was right
of
there.
Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
3 feet from the
That is
bouncer.
very funny.
A lady sitting on a blanket ripping
And
through
offering
a rock.
people to smoke
Yeah, and politely.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
It's like I'm just smoking weed. Just take a hit of this
Smoking
Cali weed.
Crack and then politely and it was a very
I feel like the look
LA.
on her face when I saw that, it was very pleasant. Like, hey, you
That's
want
what she
some?
smiled.
Right,
like
right,
the
right.
good shit.
Right.
And I don't mind sharing.
Right. That's a
When-
very good sport.
Somebody sitting in their own filth, a middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
Clearly, I like to roll back because you've seen those pictures on the internet, the mugshots of people being arrested during their drug careers,
Sure.
and their faces start to implode.
Yep.
Where did that's somebody's little girl. You're a parent.
That is. Right.
Can you imagine having a GoPro on that person for the last 10 years? And
Sure. Just the last 10 months.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Just the last-
that would be 10 years to a normal person.
Right.
Every month is probably a
Yeah.
year off the person's life on the street.
Right.
Have you ever
Yeah.
lived on the street?
Uh-uh.
I did in the winter.
Wow.
I got really sick.
That's
I was staying in a garage that had like no heat. I got ammonia and
yeah. To me, in real life, I'm such a pussy. I'm not a handyman. I don't even think I can figure. I mean, if it really comes down to if I'm homeless, I can figure out how to live on the street.
but
But
people skills that goes a long way.
Sure.
A simple conversation can really turn your
Sure.
day around. Some people don't have that.
Right,
Clearly,
right,
The
right.
lady on the sidewalk is even on her sitting in her own filth. She was kind enough to offer.
Right.
The only thing that she ever wanted all day was some good rock.
Right.
And would you like some? I would have taken a hit if you that would be the picture, right?
Right.
You're spewing crack with some
Right.
lady. I can't get spots, so
Right.
let's rock this shit up. at the Comedy Store.
Right. Someone's gonna laugh at the patio.
If I took the lighter and I burned the end of the pipe, I wouldn't get AIDS or anything. Right? Maybe.
Right, but I'd
Something.
rather say no to do that because that's gonna make her feel a little weird.
If I share it, well, now we're a couple.
Yeah, now you're
a couple. Now
well,
I'm in
then-
this relationship.
Yeah.
We've got a dialogue, and now
Right.
I got to see my girlfriend sitting
Right.
up front.
Right.
Hey, Jay. And I'm like, hey, Susan.
Right.
Oh, she's
now we're
here
a couple
all the time.
That's good. That's the safe. Right.
She's
To
here
me,
all-
it's like the only way you can burn it and then just make it cleaner and smoke is now you guys are a couple. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause you know how many times have you smoked weed with somebody, and now you there's a dialogue between you that you never had before.
Sure.
But if you get involved with a young lady who has a crack problem and she's hangs out at your work all the time, hey, it's embarrassing.
Right.
Because people, regardless of the friendly gesture of just, yeah, I'll have some crack with you. Now your friends, because they're comedians, going, you fucking ate her out, didn't you? Because that's what I would say.
Right.
I would say, did you
Right.
you couldn't make her come, so you just ate her out? You're a gentleman
Yeah.
and a scholar.
Yeah.
How many showers would she have to have before you ate her out?
I don't know. Probably at least 3. 3 seems like a practical number.
Well, comedy happens in threes, right?
Right. 3 showers.
3 showers.
At least that's
No
my
fa-
limit.
no
That's my limit. If she takes 3 showers, I think I'm ready to eat her out.
Okay.
At least that's my number.
And listen, out of respect for you, there will be a physical exam that you're not involved in any incurable diseases. Mm-hmm. So you just have to make her come once and you get $5,000. No fingers. And she sits on one of those porta potty things with a toilet seat.
Sure.
So you got to push the back of your head up into the crack lady's beaver.
Yeah.
And it's street beaver. You
Yeah.
ever have street taco?
Yes.
Think of that.
Pleasant.
But with
Sure.
a pizza cutter run over it like 9 times.
Well, she took 3 showers. That's
3 showers. Yeah. You're not going there. It could be a really nice pussy.
Right.
See, that's the thing. How many women have you been with that where you did the reveal and you're like, it's not my brand,
Yeah, I'm going
but
back
I'll
to the.
eat it. I'm usually eating
I eat it all the time,
all the time.
even if it's not my brand. I like the pussy.
You're a gentleman.
You gotta please the girls. You gotta make them feel good, physically and mentally.
And then ruin their lives.
Yeah, and then they try to kill you.
I'm a very selfish lover.
You love, but a little selfish.
I'm selfish. It would be a to build a depth of level of relationship that I expect takes time.
Sure.
And I don't like to throw everything on the table.
Sure.
So what
It's
I'll
like
do is
it will be like you.
there's kissing and pissing. Those are my first date rules.
Fuck you.
Kissing and pissing.
Kissing and pissing. Sure.
Yeah.
That's the entry level of Jason Ralph's girl hanging out.
Yeah, kiss and piss.
Sure.
You don't know kiss and piss?
I know off, but it's really funny.
Yeah.
It is really funny. I'm just this normal kiss and piss guy. If you can't hang out, we're not going date number 2.
Yeah, and they always think that when I pull out my cock, it's like, I can't. I'm like, no, it's not me. I can't have sex. I'm like, we're not having sex. I'm gonna have a piss. Put this toilet seat over your shoulders and lean forward with your mouth open. Look at daddy's eyes. I'm gonna change the color of your teeth with my urine stream.
Yeah.
Have you ever pissed?
I have. In the bathroom.
Sitting down?
Couple times for sure. Just by myself. Yes.
I've seen some pornography before.
When you said that, and I think about those pornography that you've seen,
how do you know?
Has nothing to do with the level that I seen. Mine was just this mild pulling hair, spanking ass, call you a bitch when that
a little cheeky, something little, I'm gonna yell at you or a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, well, I never, I was force fed a lot of this stuff. People send me some awful things.
Yeah.
Like crimes against humanity.
Sure.
Abortion buffet. I didn't just make that up. I've jacked off to that video of people throwing up from food poisoning from the abortion buffet.
You're like,
I'm beaten off now. It's kind of this. I got half a raw onion in my mouth so I can at least pretend cry. And these drifter traveler types are throwing up abortions into a piss trough. And I'm like, lean into it.
This is where I need to come. This is the moment that I need to jizz all over the place. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty meat potatoes. Anything like that.
No, when you say meat and potatoes, when you first said
I like to jerk off to meat and potatoes.
Well, you just gotta explain it a little bit more than that. They're like, we all have I think I'm a meat and potato guy too. But the level of the definition is a little.
Yeah, everyone has their measuring stick.
Yeah.
I'm, because I've gone over the bend with so many things.
Sure.
That I can roll it back to some normality because I'm overexposed. Sure, I'm a functioning lunatic.
Sure. But you would think that when you roll it back to the functioning lunatic for let's just say for sex, for that moment, you're like, it's good for a change. It's good, right? To me, yeah, I think.
I've lost my train of thought. A squirrel ran by on the fence.
Did I miss the squirrel?
I'm still with the guys throwing up abortions into the buckets.
Yeah, I just feel it's we're talking about sex and all this beheading. Like, I can't deal with this fucking.
What do you got coming up? You're at the store. Okay, let's talk about give us some listeners, because people come to Los Angeles, and because of I know them or something, that they think that I have it all figured out or whatever. What are some do's and don'ts? Give me your top 5 pet peeves of comedians who've come to the Comedy Store.
First of all,
here we go. Because I've seen you blow your top.
A couple of times.
Yeah, like and not unworded. Like, dude, I don't care who you are. I've got 300 people out here.
Right.
Get you know.
Yeah. You
got to deal with it.
First of all, when you come to the Comedy Store, don't say the word "remember me." Don't say that. I don't remember you. If I don't already recognize you, I don't remember who you are.
Hundreds of people are coming through there just in the industry.
Yeah.
Comedians.
Yeah.
On a weekly basis.
Yeah. You, to me, is like a nobody piece of shit. Don't come to me and say, "Hey, remember me?" No, I don't remember you.
Yeah. There's people. I've been hanging out at the store and performing there for off and on about 10 years. There's people on the staff that I've just gotten to know in the last 6 months.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You talk about picking your...
But it's just like, to me, it's one of the things that I will see you there. I work there. Like, to me, when I'm working, I can't hang out. I can't talk. Well, maybe we'll speak really quick. Hey. And then when I get off work...
A courtesy nod, and then,
to me, it's like, I see so many people, like the courtesy nod, I don't give it to a lot of people. But because I know I'm a fucking cunt. Because sometimes I'm not in a good mood.
You're working.
Yeah.
And there's
I got to deal with this
how
shit.
How many people come through that club in a night, paying customers? Because there's the main room holds what, 400?
400.
The other
OR,
one's 90?
yeah.
And 760 upstairs?
OR is about like 160. That 70, 230, about 600 people around a night.
That's just seats. Seats.
Yeah,
So,
that's the seating.
And there's 2 or 3 shows. So literally you're dealing, I would say, probably with 2,000 people a night.
Yeah.
Staff and hang-arounds. You've got to manage 2,000 people in 3 rooms.
Yeah, and
under one roof.
I don't remember your face. I'm sorry.
I love that. And you see the blood drain because they've been telling my friend Feng Chao, when I go back to Hollywood, he's going to hook me up.
No.
And he's told all his friends all these things and blah, blah, blah. And
Your friend Feng Chao have a broken dream and dressed like a character on Hollywood Boulevard right now. He can hook you up with one of those gigs. You want to do it? Let's do it.
Right?
Yeah.
And, hey, man, Feng Chao, you remember me?
No, I still don't.
And I saved up my money, and I'm here, and I'm going to be a star.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Look at all these fucking assholes.
You see that chick
they're all stars.
smoking crack? She's going to be on stage before you.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's where we're at in our relationship.
Right.
Because right now she's killing.
Right. She's killing your life.
She's a draw.
Right.
She's a draw.
Right,
She's got, and you're here with nobody.
People already laugh.
ticket.
People already laugh before they see her on stage. That's how unfunny and unimportant you are.
You're getting up stage by the lady sitting in her own shit smoking rock.
That is really funny. Thank you for showing me that. That was such a good thing.
Straight up, side profile crack. There was still a lot of traffic.
But
Everyone had their phone.
you really gotta understand. In that moment, there's a lot of layers of funniness in there.
Oh, that's life, right? And
Right.
It's all perspective.
Because for the ones that, for us, we're dark, we're twisted in our head to be able to laugh at that moment. There are people like, oh my God, that's so sad. They're like, nah. Who are you to say her life is sad?
Yeah.
She's having a great time.
Yeah.
She's having a 10 times better of a great time than yours.
She was dancing.
You think
smiling.
You think you paid $20 for a margarita, and hear some jokes.
Yeah.
This is the real joke of the night.
She's so high. From every minute is as like a standing ovation for her in her head. Every time she takes a hit, that's like an encore at the
yeah. At the like Hollywood Bowl or something. Like, what the fuck?
That's every time she takes a hit, she hears.
Yeah, right. That's literally she hears. Yeah, she wants to pass out that highness to the real people.
She's on the potluck show. She's here 6 months early.
I heard that they used to put like homeless people on potluck.
I would not be surprised.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they got nothing to do all day, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
they show up and they
Oh, yeah.
they were failed. They were in a student play when they were kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they would get on stage in a second. Are you kidding me?
and probably do quite well out of just blind faith.
Right.
Hey, I've gone and watched the Ding Dong Show numerous times, and there's moments of, and that's part of the thing is to weather the storm of the show. But there's people that don't really have a grasp on the aspect of performance, but they stumble into something,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. What do you say?
It really took me a while to understand Barris and the Ding Dong Show. Now it took me a while.
Culturally, I can see that. Well, I don't know. I've seen a lot of like Japanese game shows that are pretty ding dong.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
Where physical injury and things, the game aspect of it,
Sure.
Game show aspect of it is always crazy.
Yeah, but
Firecrackers up the ass a lot of the time.
sure.
What is that?
I don't know.
Just Japanese people
that's
always
good
put
luck.
Firecrackers
Up the ass.
I wonder how many kids lose their fingers to firecrackers.
Because they were lighting it up.
Yeah, well, they blow their fingers off all the time. But why? I don't know if I could do firecracker up the ass.
I wouldn't want to want any firecracker near my ass
no.
at all.
No, I had a thing where I had on the handlebars of a bicycle. It had the top tube was one singular tube, and I put one of those ladyfinger ones in the bottom, and then I stupidly put my hand over one end, expecting it to kind of show.
Yeah,
and left a red fishbowl boil in the middle of my hand.
Sure.
And it was terrible.
That's not pleasant at all. That does not sound pleasant at all.
Those firecracker explosions, like we used to have the shittiest one would probably be the burning schoolhouse, which was just a house with a wick on the top, and it would just burn down. There was no explosions or anything like that.
Firecracker up there. So that is funny.
What's coming up? That's what I was trying to get to.
I'm gonna go show wise. I'm going to San Francisco at the end of the month, doing some shows, and that's very fun. Probably gonna get on trying to book some shows there too. It's a weekend thing.
San Francisco's a good comedy
very
city.
Excited. They're good. They're very good. They are. That city is very, very liberal. The crowd is very. I think, to a liberal crowd, all you need to do is just to play nice, like in a way. The way that I'm saying I play nice.
Nice is a good way to phrase it.
Right.
Because it's a compromise for the cause.
Right. Once again, it's like I feel like that's how I connect with them. Like it's just jokes don't change. Don't expect me to tell you knock jokes. It's still gonna be abortions and dead babies,
buffets, crack pipes,
right. But I feel like each year I'm being a comic. The ability of me to get the audience on my side, I get better and better at that. Still talking about horrible shit.
Yeah. But your approach is a little more present to the room. You're not kind of force feeding them your shit. You're in the room doing your thing.
Right.
And San Francisco, is it part of because they just had the Sketch Fest, but you're going to go down and do some shows
for a weekend show. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And unconfirmed, but it looks like April 5th, 6th, 7th. Bronson Jones, Yoshi Abayashi, and Feng Chao. We'll have confirmation on that. But Yuck Yucks Vancouver, the first weekend of April, I've brought, it looks like it's going to be 3 assassins from Hollywood here to fuck some shit up that weekend in Vancouver. So check out online information about that. I don't know if that's my website. Where can people find you?
I do social media, Facebook, ChaoFeng. I'm very active on Instagram. Is FC8080. I do also have a Twitter. I don't tweet much. It's no Twitter.
Yeah, no, I don't use Twitters. I'm not like, I'll write a couple of jokes here and there and things like that. I just find that when you put it up on, it's like bathroom graffiti.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get people commenting on it, and then you've got a dialogue going, usually with people you don't really care about.
Yeah,
their opinions
and then
anyway.
right.
Now
right.
I'm in this online argument
With-
about something I never really gave a
yeah.
fuck and said flippantly.
Yeah.
The PC-ness is smothering it. But fuck it. Thank you for being on the show.
Of course. I had a
And
good time.
we'll have probably the next episode of the show, we'll have guarantees as for the dates, but it's going to be Vancouver, Calgary, St. John, New Brunswick, Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then maybe something a little at the end of April. May, California, June, there'll be some, we're waiting to hear back about the Download Festival this year and some other European rock festivals in June. And August, Ontario, Toronto, Mississauga, all that shit. But thanks for listening. Thanks for being on the show. And I'll see you at the Comedy Store tonight. I'm excited. It's Friday night at the Comedy Store, so you get
gonna be popping.
the regular kind of like hum of the room now on top of the excitement of LA on the weekend. So
Yep.
it'll be stoked. I'll be stewing in the corner all black.
I'll come back. I'll come to the corner and say hi.
Please do.
Periodically.
Put a mirror under my mouth so you can tell if I'm breathing still. Thanks for being on the show, and thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Have a good day.
Don't kiss me on the mouth. Don't ask if you're hurting me. And if you hear the safe word, stop what you're doing immediately. Do you have pantyhose?